In gratitude-based learning, we're guided by a question. What would happen if we lead with love instead of fear? I want to share how this came about and how it helped me overcome an anxiety that was bleeding into many aspects of my life. So, I will be the first to tell you that I used to not be a person that cared about climate, environment, um, anything of the such. I'll be the first to tell you that. And in watching a video of a 15-year-old at the time, Greta Thunberg, for whatever reason, and it hit me in my gut that there's an environmental crisis going on. And it put me into a deep, deep state of fight or flight. I was hearing messages of we have 10 years to prevent irreversible chain reactions in the planet. And it led me to pause everything else I was doing and say, I need to focus 100% of my time on this. I was deeply focused on how do we fix this carbon problem. And so I built an entire website, an entire company around addressing this problem. And we released it to a small group of people for some early feedback. And the question of what would happen if we lead with love instead of fear was posed. Someone, a dear friend of mine, said it's very clear the website is very clear it's coming from this place of angst, this place of fear, and you're telling people you need to know about this, you need to know about this carbon problem, you need to know about this thing. And he left me with a question, which is what would happen if we led from a place of love instead of fear? And I know this might sound so simple, but after that conversation I went to the fridge and grabbed a carton of blueberries. And for context, at this time I had a very debilitating relationship with food and climate and the environment. Every piece of food that I would eat, I would just imagine the carbon trails, all the carbon in the air that went into making that food possible. And good food just meant that it created less carbon, and it was not a healthy relationship with food at the time. And I had this leading with love on my subconscious, and for the first time in a year, I grabbed this carton. I had grabbed this carton of blueberries, and my internal dialogue was different. Rather than focusing on all the horrible carbon in the air, all that it took, what it took to make the plastic packaging, the dialogue in my head was, "Wow, these blueberries are delicious." And I know it might sound so strange to hear, but it was just these are delicious, and I wish I could thank everyone, everything that it took to make this goodness possible. And the curiosity started going of, well, what if I could thank the person who literally grew this, the person who packaged this? And what I realized by was running deeper toward deeper connection, running towards something, I was going to alleviate my carbon concern, but I was also going to alleviate concerns around how is the soil treated? How are the people who are growing the food treated? What do wages look like? All of these different problems that I've seen as different problems started to really make me wonder, are they all same symptoms of the same core problem, which is how deeply disconnected we are from the things we love and enjoy in our life? And so which was a radical shift for me to go from carbon as the problem. If I fix all the carbon everywhere, I've fixed everything. Rather than, well, this carbon, what if this is just a symptom? What if the way the soil is being treated right now is just a symptom? What if the way that workers are treated right now is just a symptom of a different perspective? And if it wasn't for taking that breath and really being open to seeing from a different perspective of leading with love, I would still be on this path of going around telling everyone in the world that carbon is the enemy, carbon is terrible, and we need to fix the carbon problem, and we fix everything. That openness to seeing from a different perspective, it's very tough when if I'm just in that fight or flight mode and I'm just focused on the problem. Someone had to ask that question that helped me expand that bandwidth, open up. Breathing can help doing that, but it was literally taking me from my sympathetic nervous system state, my I see a problem, a threat, and I'm going to go do something about it, to let's activate my parasympathetic nervous system and be able to see with a broader lens. And that allowed me to really transform my relationship with what is it that I'm trying to do here? Is it about carbon, or is this about connection?